Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another week of Math Wake Up. Next skill is going to be volume and surface area, and today's video is going to focus on the volume of a cube and the volume of a rectangular prism. I'm going to start off with the volume of a cube. The formula is given to you here, length times width times height. I have two cubes here. First cube is actually labeled with the length, the width, and the height so that you can identify which is which. Second cube is more of a x-ray view of a cube so that you can see really what a cube looks like from basically all sides. Again, we have the length here where you can see my arrow, the width where the arrow is, and the height where the arrow is. Thing about a cube is that all of the squares that make up a cube are going to be equal. So if you counted, you would notice that we have a total of 6 sides to a cube, one top, one bottom, and then 4 sides that make it up. And then as you can see, all sides here on the cube on the left here have an equal measurement. So whatever the measurement is, all sides will have the same measurement. So in this case, we have a 3 for the length, which means the width is going to be 3 and the height is going to be 3. There is no label, so as you should know by now, we use units if we don't give you a label. And to calculate it, you simply take the length and multiply it by the width and multiply it by the height. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So we would write for our answer 27, excuse my writing, try to do this with the mouse, 27 units. And since it is a cube and we're calculating volume, it's not going to be squared like an area. It's going to be 27 units cubed. Volume always has a power of 3 over top of the units. Again, huge to remember, volume always uses cube as a label for obvious reasons, as you can see here, at least with our cube. The second one I want to show you is very, very similar. It is a rectangular prism. As you can see here, again, we have length, we have width, we got height. The only difference between the rectangular prism and the cube is the rectangular prism does not have equal sides. It has a bottom and a top that are exactly the same, and then the sides are going to be rectangles but with different lengths. The most common example of everyday life in which you would work with or see rectangular prisms would be a shoebox. This kind of looks like a shoebox, I think. The volume, or to calculate the volume, is the exact same thing as a cube. Length times width times height. Not a lot of difference. If you slide back down, or if we slide down one more, I actually have an example of a math problem in which you're calculating the volume of a cube. Again, you have length of 9 inches, you have a width of 5 inches, and you have a height of 3 inches. I really don't even care if you pull out your calculators to calculate these. So we've got 9 times 5 times 3. And you're going to get 135, as you can see on the calculator. And that's going to be, you got to be very, very careful that you have the right labels. 135. This time there is actually a label given to you. So 135 inches to the power of 3, because volume always has an exponent, which would be a 3. Use the formula on the wake up. I gave you rectangular prisms and I gave you cubes to work on today. Good luck.